Going on, my beautiful community? Welcome back to the 101 Behind the Scenes Journey from the Apprentice's Chair. This is the official segment spinoff of the Mentors Table, entailing the one-on-one daily journalistic view of entrepreneurship, and in my case, philanthropy and entertainment. I'm your host, Sister Spade, the official mascot and founder of AmbuNet Communities. This is the second day of my 101 challenge as an AmbuNet community ambassador, opening up my own business and building the foundation of a lucrative independent career. So today we're going to be delving into how this process in general is going to be aiding my entrepreneurial growth. Each day I will be working towards building an account of the journey and how it progresses as I reach towards my goal in achieving my own business. Each day, there will be an element involved that I've established from my previous run and 101 exercises in which I will be working to overcome and replace with efficiency along this journey. So, what was the main challenge and element I discovered in pursuing my own endeavors from the past runs that I've acquired? For me, I would have to say it's consistency. Consistency was the hardest for me. Now, everyone has different circumstances and we all react to different things in different ways. For those who are entrepreneurs, many of us tend to be our own bosses, teachers, and students. So in this, there can be a loss of much energy, hope, and progress because we're doing all the physical, all the mental, and all the details by ourselves. There'll be many times in which you'll have to test your own theories, whether or not you know it. Progress is not necessarily for certain. Consistency for me didn't come with just the self-will to want to achieve something, but with the combined efforts of surroundings and circumstances in tandem working and being lucrative, which can shake things up if it's not in balance and you're trying to start something new. There were four main problems that presented themselves to me during my development and consistency. And I noticed it, that I wanted to address it, and I'm trying to fix and change it. So problem one for me was acceptance that I'm not in control of life, but I am responsible for my own actions. I had to learn that just because I planned something for myself, it didn't mean that it would happen in the way and in the time that I imagined or wanted it. There are going to be times that other details are involved, that we are going to have to take time out to let it process during our own accomplishments, if that makes sense. In this case, to avoid seeming that you have consistency problems, it's wise to research the process in achieving your said goal and evaluating where you are with your own progression and personal circumstance before you decide to share your motive and goals with others. So they're not expecting you to do something, even though you were expecting it. You kind of want to keep it to yourself until you can personally see that it's going to take fruition. There were many dreams, and there are going to be many dreams and plans that will present themselves for you to exude, but it doesn't mean that these plans are all serving your progression. And, it might not always happen in the way that you envision for it to be inclusive of what you want to do in entirety. So life has a fascinating way of unraveling, during these phases of learning, constituting the actual trial and error phase. So it's best for me to stop proclaiming who I wanted to be and what I was going to do, but more so to review what I've been through and what it has made of me, so I can continue to perfect the skills and talents and fully performing when the time permits. So in this way, I feel I'm being responsible in my preparation and my contribution while putting myself in a place where I'm not pushed to do something that's not expected for my own standards. Problem two that was in my way, I feel, was failure and me fearing that failure. There's only one voice that truly matters at the end of this, and that is the one that's gifted to you. Being able to hear and trust your thoughts are a huge step to maturity and many of us never achieve this. We focus on what others say isn't possible, and we look at our circumstances as if they're their circumstance, and that's not the truth. Failure to me is not even possible unless you just stop trying, you know? There are mistakes that can be made, of course, but this is clearly the only way you can try to learn. This is a scary ideal. It is compromising. There will be opinions set about you, and the standard and word you set are yours to carry. But as long as you know what you're doing it for and who and why you're doing it, you need not to be fearful or to continue to explain it to anyone else. Take the time to understand who you are and what it is that you want to do. And when you get to where you're going, you will know that you were meant to go, you know? All that we do comes with natural and personal intent. As long as we continue to believe in ourselves and work towards what is in our hearts. Those are all the wonderful fireworks that's going off. This is the 4th of July, and these are 4 wonderful shot series that I'm putting out. So enjoy the fireworks as this goes on. Problem 3 that was in my way was my attitude and my mindset. After, I'd like to say around the age of 16, we are all still looking to figure life out, but at this time we know what's right from wrong. And if we're functioning healthfully, we'll do our best to try to do what's right, you know? And we also know we have the choice to control how we represent, how we react, and how we cultivate our personal function. For some reason, many of us at this time lose our minds, and along with our manners. And particularly some people like to carry that habit with them throughout adulthood. It's either you progress with love or you progress with some spiciness that need not be there. But those of us who are used to more of a self-indulged lifestyle or provided means of living could possibly come by hard to understanding versatility. And it is a sure slap to the face when we hear our first no as an answer, or we find that another individual may be a little or a lot different from us. I can attest to the fact that I came from a loving family and much was provided for me to a point. Learning how to survive, provide, and grow on my own was a tedious task, and nonetheless it was intimidating. My attitude would sway from arrogance to irritation, and quite quickly I was learning how to pass off myself as knowing what was going on, but at the same time learning how to learn what was going on. I was faking the funk, you know what I'm saying? So my advice is not to fake the funk. Embrace it. Embrace your learning, embrace the journey, embrace your passions, and growing into them. You know what I'm saying? No one owes us anything. No one owes you. No one owes me anything. So it is up to us to go forward towards what we want to do. Everything is proven and it's earned at some point. So that leaves no one out. You have to do the work. A nasty attitude is a one-way ticket to nowhere. Working with understanding and initiative to make improvements, now that can build for a lasting and successful foundation. So I guess we're here to problem four that was in my way was trusting my hustle and not second guessing it. If you're going to do something, do it. Don't wait. Don't let others influence you into thinking you can't do or you don't know something about yourself. And don't believe that what you're already doing is impossible. The only factor that you should challenge is yourself. How far you go is based on how much you're willing to push. There is resistance in everything because of the team effort of life. A need has to be met by a service for us to have relevance. The service has to be relevant for it to be required and provided for. In this community, we invest in successful product and we invest in people. There's no security in going after something you don't care for and you rather not do. So if your heart and your soul is moving you towards something and you have the evidence in yourself of what makes you truly happy, trust that process is valid. Take advantage of every opportunity that presents itself and continue to practice and develop your technique. Keep going towards your goals and don't search for ways out. Stick to it. Know and think and believe in yourself. For 100 more days, I set out to continue my work as an entrepreneurial influence in my community. For each of these days, not only am I challenging myself at the hand of becoming a better leader and business personnel, but also extending the invite to all of those watching in support. Please do the same in taking one step closer each day and understanding what it is that you do and how your own personal gifts, experiences, and talents help you. Join me each day in uncovering another entrepreneurial element, and don't forget to share, comment, or forward the love to a young boss that you know. I'm your sister Spade, and this was the 101 Behind the Scenes Journey from the Apprentice Chair. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing how we grow even more into tomorrow. I'll see you soon.